What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick and this is Tycoon Talk. So on this video we are going to talk about how to do a hex staking ladder. So for those of you who are not familiar with the hex staking ladder, this is a particular strategy within the hex community, within the hex ecosystem, on how to maximize your hex stake. So as you guys know, when you stake hex, you earn yield on that hex, and when your stake ends, you are able to get your principal plus the yield back. So for some people who went and dove deep into the game theory, they created something called ladders, or discovered something called ladders. So laddering is basically having a hex stake come out every so often. So whether that's every month, every week, every day, every 4 months, every 3 months, every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, whatever your ladder is, for whatever amount of time. So if you want to do every year for the next 10 years, every year for the next 15 years, every other month for the next 7 years, you can get really, really, really creative with how you do your ladders. But on this particular video, I have a tool that I'm going to share with you guys that has been extremely valuable to me and my peers, and how they do their hex staking ladders. So let me go ahead and get right into it. Go ahead and alright, so this is called hexladder.web.app. So it basically helps you visualize what your hex staking ladders will look like, and we're going to go all the way through these and choose a particular ladder that you guys might be interested in doing. So first off, it's going to ask you how much hex you have to invest. So instead of doing one lump sum, let's say you had 100,000 hex and you want to stake it for 5 years. So instead of doing it for 5 years, which is, some people may want to do that, maybe you want it to drip it out. And when I say drip it out, I mean, instead of 5 years, maybe you did 5 stakes starting at 5 years. So on year 5, you get a stake come out. Year 6, you'll have a stake come out. Year 7, like that. So I'll explain. I'll show you guys further. So let's say you had 100,000 hex to invest, right? So the start of the ladder is going to be, let's go ahead, today is the 6th, so let's go ahead, say we're going to start today. And the total length of the ladder, so this is 100% dependent on you, how long you want to do your ladder for. For this example purpose, we're going to do 555, a quattro cinco, for the next 15 years, because this is the most optimal way to stake your hex. Longer pays better. The longer pays better. You're going to get more price appreciation in the long run, and you're saving yourself from selling way too early. So let's just do a 15-year ladder. All right. So the end date of the first hex stake. So when do you want the first hex stake to come out? If we're doing 5 years in this example, so it's 2022, 5 years from now would be 10/6/2027. So let's go ahead over here. Matter of fact, let's make it a Saturday. So who doesn't like getting paid on a Saturday? All right, so the end date of the first stake is going to be 5 years from today. Okay. And keep in mind, you guys can do this any way you want to. It can be a year from now, it can be 3 months from now, whatever the case is. This is purely an example, all right? So minimum stake length in days. So what is the minimum stake length in days? That is going to be, that's actually right there, 1829. Because 1825 is 5 years, so we did it for a few days after that, so 1829. So that's going to bring you exactly to this date. If you wanted to do the date, a certain amount of days that you had in mind for yourself, and let's say you want to do 1,000 days, you could type in 1,000 days, and then this will populate right here. So we already have it done right there. So the end of the ladder. So end of the ladder is naturally going to be done in 2037, because that is 15 years from now, or 15.2 years from now, and we did the 555, the quattro cinco stake. So total number of stakes. Now this is completely up to you, okay? So let's keep in mind, right now as this video is being made, PulseChain is not out yet. So that means that we only are able to do stakes on Ethereum for now. In the future, PulseChain will come out and we can do our stakes on PulseChain. But the only reason I bring that up right now is because Ethereum's gas fees are quite expensive relative to what PulseChain will be. So generally, if you're going to start a hex stake and end a hex stake right now in the bear market, it's around anywhere from $3 to $5 to $10, depending on the time that you go ahead and put the stake in. Now, that doesn't sound like much. I know 3, 5, 10. You know what is that? But it's a lot. Okay, and when PulseChain comes out, a hex stake will be less than a penny. So would you rather pay $3 or pay less than a penny? And that comes into a factor when you're doing stakes. So if you wanted to do 100 stakes and you're paying $3 each, you're paying $300 to do, what you could do for $3 on PulseChain. So since we're on Ethereum, let's just keep it at, let's say 10 stakes, right? And like I always say, you guys can do it however you want to do it. All right. So we're going to do 10 hex stakes. And when, another side note, when PulseChain launches, when it officially launches and everything is live and everything is going, I'm going to make a new video on a hex staking ladder strategy that I have already made up for myself for when PulseChain comes out, which will be way deeper. It'll be a lot more stakes. You will be basically paying yourself every day, every week, every month, depending on what you're putting in. So you guys just be ready for that one. That is a beautiful strategy. I worked very hard on it, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So once PulseChain comes out, we'll go ahead and cover all of that. So let's go ahead and see. So the end date, like we already seen, was going to be December 21st, 2037. And now it's going to show you hex per stake. So remember, the total amount in this example was 100,000. So if we're doing 10 stakes, simple math, it's going to be 10,000 hex per stake. So we got 10,000 hex per stake. And then each step of the ladder is 556 days. So what that means is, on your first day, right, you're getting your first hex staking. Your first hex stake comes out 5 years from now, right? October 9th, 2027 on that Saturday. And then in between each step of this ladder, right, your next hex stake is going to come out 556 days after that, okay? Which is going to bring you over here to April 17th, 2029. And so on and so forth. From April 17th to 2029. Plus 556 days is going to bring you to October 25th, 2030, and so on and so forth. As you can see, that's why it's called a ladder. It's always going to be a step up. Now, like I said, you play with this, the number of stakes, you'll get paid more often. If you do more stakes, less stakes, you'll get paid less often. And you can get this number down. You can get this number down to 90 days in between each ladder, 30 days in between each ladder, 7 days in between each ladder. It's totally up to you guys. I encourage you to go ahead, hexladder.web.app, and play with it for yourself. So now it's going to show you an estimated total effective hex based on the hex, based on your ladder. And this is a total estimation, okay? Nobody actually knows what exactly you're going to get. So estimated is 278,506 hex. So this is the best part in my opinion, because as you guys know, when you're doing your hex stakes, you have to manually put in the date that you want it to come out and things like that. So if you're making a ladder, boom, you have it right here. The first stake, the length is going to be 1,829 days. Boom, you just type that into the nativehex.com, go stake. Let's go ahead. Let's go over here and actually look at it. Let's go to stake. So boom, let's say you want to do, we're going to do 1,000. You can just type it in, 1829. Let's go back over. 1829, bam. Bam, 1829, then you hit stake. I mean, just that simple. You don't have to do any math. You don't have to go on the calendar and look for it. You just put it in. This tool right here did all the work for you, and it does it for each and every single staking ladder, every ladder of your stake. So for your second stake, it's going to be 2,385 days. And then the third one, 2,941 days, and so on and so forth. So as you guys can see, these are the dates that these stakes will come out. And then the effective hex, right? This is your estimated yield on the hex. And keep in mind, this is 20,044, and your initial hex stake was 10,000 hex. So You basically doubling up, estimated, and it could be a lot more. So that is how you guys basically do a hex staking ladder. I'll probably make another video going more in depth with different strategies, but I wanted to get this out so you guys could see, you know, go ahead and play with it. You know what I mean? Just a basic example. You see how the functions work, how you play with the website. It's a very simple one page. That's all it takes. As you change the number of stakes, the chart over here will, you know, change in itself. So if we're doing 100 stakes, then you're getting paid 56 days in between each ladder, you know. So this is a very, very, very useful tool. I encourage anyone who's invested in Hex to definitely use this. Definitely check this out when they're doing their Hex staking ladder. If you don't have a Hex staking ladder, seriously consider getting one, getting into doing one. And like I said, I'll continue to make videos on this, discuss certain strategies that I have for myself, that I think will be optimal, you know, such as getting paid every day or every week or every month in the future. You know what I mean? So as always, guys, if you found value in that video, go ahead and drop a like, tap the subscribe button. I make tons and tons and tons of videos every day, every week, and we're pumping it out, man. We're here to help a lot of people and just bring awareness overall and change people's lives. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel where I talk about cryptocurrency in depth, mainly the Hex ecosystem, what I know works. I talk about credit, how to fix your credit, and I talk about consciousness. You know, what is the universe? What is, you know, how to use your mind, personal development, a lot of cool information that all goes in together in some way, form, or fashion. So as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to send infinite abundance to you now and forever, my friends. I will see you again in the video tomorrow. Peace.